Live?
Con.
All right, go ahead.
You guys sharing it with Michelle? Okay. We live.
All right.
Hold on. I'm live. I'm live.
Were those actual messages he was reading to?
Yeah.
Trying to read?
On the on the live.
Yeah.
The message.
And then the last one, you go to jail, just check for it.
I gotta go, y'all. They trying to get me.
Bop. Go. Hello.
I'm live.
Boy, technology and us, boy. It's not a good mix. Not a good mix, I'm telling you. All right.
Yeah. Let me salute in real quick.
Stand.
First and foremost, I like to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God Yahweh, and we do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. This is a Shabbat class, Shabbat service, and to my left,
Nathaniel.
and I'm Marakat.
Okay, so we say Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Barakatham, Shabbat Shalom, and we say we can be seated for right now. This week's Torah portion, we'll be reading in Exodus, the 27th chapter, picking up at verse 20, closing out Exodus 27, then going all the way over to Exodus 30, verse 10. This week's Torah portion is Tetzaveh, which basically means you shall command. Okay, so we're going to be reading about the oil for the lamp, the vestments that the priests wore, the F.O.R the high priest would wear, and the ordination of the priests for their priestly duties for the temple dedicated to the Most High. All right, and the altar of incense.
Incense or incense?
Incense,
Okay.
excuse me.
Come. Just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, right, clarify that. All right, so this week's rant. I'll have to be honest with you. Pretty much would have to do a video to basically do a week's rant because there's a lot going on. A whole lot. But I want to key on some key points that I think are pretty important that you should keep in mind. First and foremost, I think the major point is what happened this past Friday. President Trump basically said that he is signing a National Emergency Act. Now, that seems harmless, quote unquote, because it's a national emergency. But you have to understand the language of what's not being said. Okay.
It's what's behind.
It's what's included in that National Emergency Act. Because the illusion that he's putting out to our people, especially, is it's all about the wall. We need to build this wall. If we have this wall, it's all about the wall, and he's going to get this money hook or crook with whatever program that needs to be cut, it will be cut so he can build this wall. But Upon further investigation, you come to find out that the wall now becomes part of the military. This is a military project now. Okay. So when it becomes a military project, you supersede congressional oversight. All right. And on top of that, you have the power to bring in martial law. And that's what you don't understand. That's the code word. Okay, now martial law has been said almost the last 10 or 15 years, so it seems to be a joke to most black people. But you have to understand what happened up until this point. Up until February 15, what was going on? In major cities, major urban cities, you had military exercises with helicopters. Okay, LA just had a military exercise in the downtown area with helicopters. Okay, then on top of that, you had Wells Fargo basically deny their customers access to their accounts. Okay, now if you want to verify that, I want you to go to downdetector.com. If I can get somebody to go there real quick and see if we can get an update. Downdetector.com. Okay, so it wasn't just Wells Fargo that went down as far as internet access and to their network. You had Spectrum, you had Comcast, you had AT&T, you had PGE, electrical company out on the East Coast, Chase Bank. Okay, so you have major corporations that have computer networks and infrastructure. Their whole systems went offline. Okay. But Wells Fargo is pretty noteworthy because people were not able to access their money.
Mm-hmm.
So, one video I saw, a brother was doing commentary and he was just reading the comments from people posting on his video. And they were saying that they couldn't access their funds, they couldn't pay for medicine, rent was due, mortgage was due. One lady deposited $2,500 check and it was not available. But yet Wells Fargo's website was down. Okay, so you could even get to their website.
Mm-hmm.
And what makes it so bad is that legally, the banks can take your money. Don't ask me how. I'll give a commentary next week. But legally, they can take your money. You couple that with the bailouts in 2008, and again, I believe in 2010, another bailout. You couple that with the fact that globally, these banks are hurting. Okay, over in Europe, okay, over in France particularly, okay, people are being denied access to their accounts. The yellow vests have taken to the streets. The working class, the poor, are taken to the streets demanding the outing of the current president. Okay. And then the reason why I mentioned France, what's happening over in Haiti? Okay, you have uprising, all right, violence, because the people are sick and tired of the corruption. Okay. Venezuela, what's happening in Venezuela? They're preparing for America to try to invade. Okay. To back the coup.
The president gave a national emergency message, right?
Right.
Of Venezuela, yeah.
Right. He said, tell the people to prepare for war.
Yeah, he's telling the American people don't believe what the Americans are saying about them and what they're doing. Basically, in a nutshell,
right.
Don't believe what the president is saying about Venezuela. They lying.
Right. And why does America want to go to Venezuela? Why does America want to take over Haiti?
Natural resources.
Natural resources. Venezuela has the largest oil reserve within that hemisphere. Haiti, my goodness.
Still got gold and everything.
I mean, Haiti has mountains worth of gold, not counting what's in the interior part of Haiti. Minerals that have not even been discovered yet is over in Haiti. Okay. And they want it. All right. The Clinton Foundation, the child pedophile rings, all that is invested within Haiti and in South America. Okay, the death squad. I have to do a video because a lot of you don't understand the history of South America. Why are all the migrants trying to come to America? Because America destroyed their country, destroyed their infrastructure, okay, destroyed their government, all right? The Iran-Contra scandal with Oliver North standing before a Senate committee in his a Marine uniform, you know, he was carrying out military orders. But what was the orders? Basically, take the cocaine from South America and put it in the ghetto.
God.
That's what happened. And the money that was generated from those sales went to buy arms for trying to overthrow El Salvador. Okay. Once again, America is trying to overthrow a legitimate democracy to impose their puppet government so they can control the wealth and mineral resources of that country. That's textbook. That's imperialism. That's white supremacy, period, in a nutshell. Okay. Why I say all this now is because America's in its last go around. Okay, they shall all turn and hate the whore, which is America.
Yep.
All right. Russia is backing Syria and Iran.
Hold on.
And Venezuela.
The KGB is backing Syria and Iran.
Right. Well, the mob, the Russian mob, which is
KGB doing that.
Right. Putin. Okay.
Get that out in front, right?
Right.
Russia and China are backing Venezuela.
Yeah. Because they got, China's trying to flex. They got billions invested within South America, okay, and in Africa. Mm-hmm. So this is the fourth quarter, okay, and these military exercises are not just done to be doing them. There's a purpose behind the military exercises. Yeah. There was a purpose behind the shutdown of the bank's ATM apparatus, because they're testing the public. They're trying to gauge the public reaction. But as long as people are docile, as long as people are still caught up in the Grammys, caught up in the Super Bowl, caught up in sports and entertainment and every other distraction, their plan is still going forward. It's when it affects people personally, that's when you get the reaction. When an individual who's watching this video, when you're not able to go get your money, then it's a problem. The person next door to you, or the person on the other side of you, or the people at your job, you could care less. Keep it real. You could care less. But when you can't get your money, oh, it's a problem. And problems need to be solved. And those type of problems, when they need to be solved, that's when the people are going to take to the street. And that's why the helicopters and the militaries are doing these urban exercises to prepare for martial law. Okay, 3 days. And the 3 days is to galvanize people in a central location so they can enclose them within a net, so they can't leave. So you're confined to a given area. All right. And how will they do these 3 days run? Through the banks. Because when you can't get your money on Friday, what you gonna do? You're gonna wait there till Monday, because you going to the bank to see about your money. You're not leaving. You're not going to a safe location or some distant plan that you done thought this out. You're not going anywhere without your money. No. Because you ain't gonna be able to go. How you gonna get there? You gonna walk? You gonna fly? You got gas? So this is the program that's happening. This is the stage being set, okay? And that I'm like I said, that's the short list. Oh, did we get a read on that? Downdetected.com. What you get?
So this is the top 10.
Okay.
Wells Fargo, Crunchyroll, Apex, Reddit, Spectrum, Yahoo, AT&T, Comcast, Verizon, and AOL.
All right, now what date is that? What's the date?
It's updated.
Saying that they're down.
Yeah.
Average top 10, week 6.
Well, hit on Wells Fargo. When do they start? Okay. So keep this website in mind.
So these are just things that are just shutting down.
Well, let's put it in context. People are having problems with the service that these companies provide.
They've been hacked one way or another. They're compromised.
Right. Either the computer has been hacked, or there's something that's happened internally that is not allowing their customers to access their accounts or services or goods that they provide them. Now with Comcast and Spectrum, that would either be mobile service or cable. Or internet, which cable. AT&T, that's kind of referring to their internet and their dish TV. Now Wells Fargo, that's money. That's ATMs. Now, can you pull up on Wells Fargo on there?
Yeah, I am right now.
Okay. Now, this isn't no folklore. This isn't no what's the other word? A ghetto folklore. Nothing. This is real time. This is really happening right now as we speak. Okay.
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 This is at downdetector.com, and I'm at Wells Fargo. So when you go to downdetector.com, you can, matter of fact,
Can you link it?
what I'm gonna do is this.
Okay.
I'm going to, man, I'm gonna hurt myself on your phone. I cut myself, man. I cut myself, I'm gonna sue you. When you go to downdetector.com, this is going to pop up right here. All right. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tap on Wells Fargo. Right. And Down Detector is going to pop up too, as you can see that right there clearly. Down Detector is going to go to Wells Fargo. It is going to say Wells Fargo problems in the last 24 hours. All right. And then you're going to go to the resolve issues. All right. So
they're still down.
today is the what?
Today is what?
16.
The 16th.
Okay, let's go to week 6 on this real quick.
Wells Fargo's been having some issues for quite some time now. They're almost about to lose their FDIC insurance.
Insurance? Oh.
For like, I want to say earlier last year, for about the first 4 or 5 months, they weren't even allowed to open any new business accounts because they've been having so much internal fraud.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's not even, man. That's a video in itself. The whole banking is fraud. Or at least you should know.
Yeah.
It is fraud. The only thing that isn't fraud is your money in your account.
God.
That's what ain't fraud. That's what's real. But everything else, as far as the loans and the commercial and the insurance, that's game. That's paper game. But we can't play.
But my friend was over here looking at showing the shade.
Oh,
I've been hearing about this for a while.
oh yeah.
That didn't even shock me when I heard they've been down. I've been told my sister to close their accounts because their money gonna come up missing.
Better get your money.
People's money's already come up missing. That's why.
Right.
That's why they weren't allowed to open up no new business accounts.
Right. I mean, people going to pay bills and the bills ain't being posted.
People going to an account that they just put $3,500 in, and come the next day it was gone, and had to check cameras, had to check the cameras, had to have the management to check the cameras to see when she
put the money.
deposit the money into the account,
Right.
because it disappeared. All of a sudden it disappeared. Like, what in the flying hush puppies is happening?
Right. So, boy.
So February 9th, 8th, problems at Wells Fargo.
Right.
Right. So the problems, that most reported problems, was Online banking at 45%,
Right.
website at 34%,
Right.
and mobile banking at 25%.
Right.
So website and online banking kind of like the same damn thing. So that is like
All right. Internet based.
79% of the problem right there.
Right.
That's the online banking and all that whatnot. Okay, here we go. Let's go to the comments that people were talking about.
Right. Comments. Well, the customers. All right. So this is actual customers commenting on the problems they're dealing with Wells Fargo. Go ahead.
This is Crispy Grapes. Weirdo name, but whatever. 18 hours ago, was worried about making a mortgage payment. My account is unavailable. Now that I've read a bunch of these comments, I'm realizing that it isn't just my account. Aggravated that I can't make a payment, but at least now I know it isn't just me. And now I'll fight any late charges that may try that they may try to ask. She didn't even spell that right.
Right.
Try calling, and the outgoing messages said that they tried. Hold on. Tried calling, and the outgoing messages said that they are closed and to call back during business hours, though their website says they are available by phone 24/7. Interesting.
Right. Wow. I mean, yeah, I like to.
Go there,
How long
Go there.
did she work for Wells Fargo?
For almost 4 years.
Oh yeah.
Go there, please.
She's still in the banking industry. She just works for a different bank.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I'll have her come over for dinner.
Well, now, let me also add this. Chase Bank had problems too.
Yeah, they gave a bunch of them that had problems.
Right. So, is it a coincidence that you would have Instagram?
Fortunate, Xbox Live, Spectrum, AT&T, Wells Fargo,
Right.
Reddit, Verizon, Comcast.
Right.
That was week 6
Right.
or week 5. AOL, Yahoo, AT&T.
I didn't know they still use AOL.
Apex, Chase Bank,
Right.
UPS, Verizon, Instagram, Comcast, and Facebook.
But again, is it a coincidence that he would now announce a national emergency act at the same time of having these military exercises going on prior to that announcement, and the bank runs being people unable to get their money? No, it's not a coincidence. This is a gauge. Okay, it's a gauge. The border wall is to keep people in, not keep people out. Keep people in. Okay, so it's going to get more interesting as the weeks progress. Okay, so keep this in mind. We'll give you more information. That's this week's rant. Well, no, there is something else. Y'all remember the brother that got killed in Alabama at the mall? Well, the attorney general basically said that it was his own fault that he got killed and exonerated the cop that killed him. Okay, mind you, now what's not being said is that there's video throughout this mall. Okay, he got shot in the back 5 times. All right, but what's not being said is who did he have apprehended? Because he had somebody apprehended. That's why his gun was drawn.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're not saying that. Okay, and the initial report said the shooter got away. They had the wrong shooter, which was the brother, and they killed him. But then the actual shooter got away. So where is he at? All right, where is he at?
Cookies and milk.
Right. All right. The other point I want to make: beware of 5G. They keep telling you 5G is coming. 5G is a killer grid. Okay, killer grid. Why do I say that? Look it up. The dangers of 5G. All right. 5G is basically a spectrum of frequency that will harm the human body. Okay. There's a video out where a a TSA employee, a white woman that worked for TSA, was breaking down the whole 5G danger, because whether you realize or not, that for those that have been to the airport recently and traveled, you go through this little radar X-ray detector that spins around you. That's 5G. I didn't know that. That's 5G. But here's the issue. Us as travelers, we're not exposed to it that much yet. The workers are the ones that are being exposed to it, and they're having major health issues, like this woman in the video was explaining. I mean, cancer, okay? Women losing their babies, okay? Being exposed to 5G frequencies. The body was not made for that, all right? So, all this a part of the agenda of population control, okay? And the thing about 5G that you may not understand is that it's a shortwave signal. So they have to set up towers almost every so many feet.
So guess what they did? They made fake trees.
Oh,
You know the little palm trees?
Yeah.
And then those fake branches with those things in there?
right.
Yeah, that's what they do.
So that's where the 5G transmitters are going to be put up.
And they all around here.
All around. I mean, they have to be so many feet. Like all these telephone poles, all these light poles, they all going to have the 5G transmitters on them.
Now you can see some mechanical stuff up in the tree, and they made it look like leaves and branches on it and shit, but they're fake.
Right, right. So look it up, the dangers of 5G. All right. So with that being said, we can get started. Well, let me see. Is there any more? No, I think we covered. I mean, late term abortions, we covered that last week. All right. It hasn't changed.
Late term abortion,
That's just straight up murder, period.
yeah, that is murder.
I mean, any abortion is murder, but I mean, you can abort up and at the point of birth. I mean, what are you saying? I mean, what are you saying? I mean, so the baby's on the table, and you can decide. The mother can decide whether or not they want the baby or not. Unreal. This is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Okay. Amadium, what upon your Jerusalem? Let's stand and face your Jerusalem.
Just a second.
Okay. Oh, I just want to add also, look up Rex 84, okay? That's all part of this whole border wall and the whole emergency act that Trump is signing into law.
What is Rex 84 again?
Rex 84 goes back, I want to say almost maybe 10 years, but basically it was a law, an executive order that basically said that they had the right and ability to round up suspected terrorists and bring them to internment camps. Okay. See, first they had to make the law for the internment camps. Then they had to make the law to build the internment camps. Then they had to make the law of who would be designated to go to the internment camps. And that's the so-called Mexicans, Latinos, and blacks.
That's me.
Okay, that's
Lord
us.
willing is not. Lord willing is not me. He gonna move my feet, but I mean, hey, it's for us. You know what I mean?
It's for us. Okay, it's for us. And anybody else that wants to help us.
Happy are they who are persecuted for thy name. I got a smile on my face. I'm trying to tell you, I'm happy.
Okay. We ready?
Come on, y'all ready? Let's go. Let's get in order. There you go. Step over here.
Okay. So we'll open up with the Abanawa prayer, Yahweh's prayer, Matthew 6:9-13. Okay, go ahead and start.
God. Abanawa. Shabbat
Shemayim.
Kodash.
Haya. Shemka.
Yahweh.
Malak-Wakah. Taba'ah. Ratazaka. Haya. Aisha. Baratazah. Kahaya. Bashamayim. Within Yanawa. Lacham.
Call your one. Washalakina. Kabawathina.
Kabawathina. Wala'ah.
W.N.O. Ben Asai one. Abal. Haushayna. Manrai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Wa'ala. Thaparas. Aman.
Bashim. Yahushua. Hamashiach. Aman.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Bashem, Yahushua, Mashiach.
Amen. Psalms 84 verse 4, Psalms 144 verse 15, Psalms 145, Psalms 115 verse 18. I'll read it. Blessed are they that dwell in thy house, they still be praising thee, Selah. Happy is that people that is in such a case. Yea, happy is that people whose Allahayah is Yahweh. I will have told thee my Allahayah, O King, and I will bless thy name forever and ever. Every day will I bless thee, and I will praise thy name forever and ever. Praise Yahweh, and greatly to be praised, and his greatness is unsearchable. One generation shall praise thy works to another, and I shall declare thy mighty acts. I will speak of the glorious honor of thy majesty and of thy wondrous works, and men shall speak of the might of thy terrible acts. And I will declare thy greatness. They shall abundantly utter the memory of thy great goodness, and shall sing of thy righteousness. Yahweh is gracious and full of compassion, slow to anger and of great mercy. Yahweh is good to all, and his tender mercy are over all his works. All thy works shall praise thee, O Yahweh, and thy saints shall bless thee. They shall speak of the glory of thy kingdom, and talk of thy power, to make known to the sons of men his mighty acts, and the glorious majesty of his kingdom. Thy kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and thy dominion endureth throughout all generations. Yahweh upholdeth all that fall, and raises up all those that be bowed down. Bow down, proselyte. It raiseth up all those that be bowed down. The eyes of all wait upon thee, and thou givest them their meat in due season. Thou openest thy hand and satisfy desire every living thing. Yahweh is righteous in all his ways and holy in all his works. Yahweh is nigh unto all them that call upon him, to all that call upon him in truth. He will fulfill the desire of them that fear him. He also will hear their cry and will save them. Yahweh preserves all them that love him, but all the wicked will he destroy. My mouth shall speak the praise of Yahweh, and let all flesh bless his holy name forever and ever. But we will bless Yahweh from this time forth and even forevermore. Hallelujah.
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 Bashem.
Bashem.
Yahushua. Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Aman.
Aman.
Okay, the first three prayers of Amada. Abawath,
Abawath,
Barakathan,
Barakathan,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Allahayanawa,
Allahayana,
Allahaya,
Allahaya,
Ababawathlanawa,
Abawathina,
Allahaya,
Allahaya,
Abaraham,
Barham,
Allah,
Allah,
Haya,
Haya,
Yatazakwa,
Zakwa,
Wa Allah,
Wa Allah,
Haya,
Haya,
Yaquab,
Yaqwa,
Allah,
Allah,
Shaya,
Shaya,
Allah,
Allah,
Ayawan,
Ayawan,
Gamal,
Gamor,
Kasai Dayam,
Kasayam,
Barakathan,
Barakathan,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Magan,
Magan,
Abar,
Aram,
Gabawarwa,
Gabawawa,
Athan,
Athan,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Gabor,
Gabor,
La'aibalam,
Lahawalam,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Makaya,
Makaya,
Matayam,
Wadayam,
Wamaya,
Wamaya,
Dawama,
Dawama,
Laka,
Laka,
Malak,
Malak,
Ha'aibalam,
Hawalam,
Mamaya,
Mamaya,
Mamakaya,
Makaya,
Barakathan,
Barakathan,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Makaya,
Makaya,
Matayam,
Matayam,
Kwadawar Hash,
Kodawahash,
Kwadawar Hash,
Kodawahash,
Shem Yahweh,
Shem Yahweh,
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 Athan,
Adan,
Kwadayash,
Kodayash,
Washemka,
Washimka,
Kwadawash,
Kodawash,
Wakwadawashyam,
Kodawashim,
Bakal,
Bakal,
Yawum,
Yawam,
Allah,
Allah,
Wakal,
Wakal,
Salah,
Salah,
Barakathan,
Barakathan,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ha-Allah,
Allah,
Ha-Kwadawash.
Kodawash,
Blessed are you,
blessed are you,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
the power of our father,
our Father,
the power of Abraham,
Abraham,
the power of Isaac,
power of
the
Isaac,
power of Yaquab,
power of Yahweh,
almighty power,
Almighty power,
of most high power,
Most High power,
who bestows mercy.
who bestows mercy,
Blessed are you,
blessed are you,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Sheila Abraham.
shield of Abraham,
You are mighty,
you
Yahweh,
almighty Yahweh,
forever.
forever,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
who revives the
who
dead,
revives the dead,
who's comparable to
who
you,
is comparable to you,
King of eternity,
King of eternity,
who caused death
who caused death
and gives
and
life.
gives life.
Blessed are you,
Blessed are you,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
who gives life
who gives life
to the
to
dead.
the dead.
You are holy,
You are
Yahweh,
holy Yahweh,
and your name is
and
holy.
your name is holy.
And the Holy
And
One,
the Holy Ones
every day,
every day
praise you
praise you
forever.
forever.
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
the power who is
the
holy.
power who is holy.
Bashem,
Bashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shah,
Hamashiach,
Hamashiach,
Aman.
Amen.
Okay, stand. Okay, the anointing prayer. Set the order. Okay.
I'm trying to find which one you want.
Yep. Okay. Yabaraka,
Yabaraka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Washamarka,
Washamarka,
Ya'ar Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Panyawa,
Panyawa,
Ayaka,
Ayaka,
Wayakanka,
Wayakanka,
Yasha'ar Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Panyawa,
Panyawa,
Ayaka,
Ayaka,
Wayashamlaka,
Wayashamlaka,
Shalom,
Shalom,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Barak,
Barak,
Rapar,
Rapar,
Shamar,
Shamar,
Kazak,
Kazak,
Yashia.
Mashapil Gabar.
Znakaria.
Marakad,
Nathaniel Allah, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Barak,
Barak,
Rapar,
Rapar,
Shamar,
Shamar,
Kazak,
Kazak,
Yahweh. Yashia.
Mashapil Gabar.
Znakaria.
Marakad,
Nathaniel Allah, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Barak,
Barak,
Rapar,
Rapar,
Shamar,
Shamar,
Kazak,
Kazak,
Yashia.
Mashapil Gabar.
Znakaria.
Marakad,
Nathaniel Allah, Bashem,
Bashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shah,
Hamashiach,
Hamashiach,
Aman,
Aman,
Yahweh bless thee,
Yahweh bless
and
thee,
keep thee,
and keep thee,
Aman,
Aman,
Yahweh make his face,
Yahweh make his face
shine upon thee,
shine upon
and
thee,
be gracious
and be gracious
unto thee,
unto thee,
Aman,
Aman,
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
lift up his
lift
countenance
up his countenance
upon thee,
upon thee,
and give thee
and
peace,
give thee,
Aman,
Aman,
Bashem,
Bashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shah,
Hamashiach,
Hamashiach,
Aman.
Aman.
Okay, the last three prayers of Amanda. Abba Wadah,
Abba Wadah,
Ratazah,
Ratazah,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Allahayinawa,
Allahayinawa,
Ba'anka,
Ba'anka,
Yasha'Allah,
Yasha'Allah,
Wapaknawa,
Wapaknawa,
Wahabshah,
Wahabshah,
Af,
Af,
Abba Wadah,
Abba Wadah,
Bayathka,
Bayathka,
Mashka,
Dashka,
Wahabshah,
Wahabshah,
Banya,
Banya,
Tezakwak,
Tezakwak,
Bun,
Bun,
Aharon,
Aharon,
Barakathan,
Barakathan,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Habshah,
Habshah,
Abba Wadah,
Abba Wadah,
Bayathka,
Bayathka,
La Yahanyaka,
Yahanika,
Hawadah,
Hawadah,
Mawadayam,
Mawadayam,
Anaknawa,
Anaknawa,
Laka,
Laka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Allahayinawa,
Allahayinawa,
La'iwalam,
La'iwalam,
Magun,
Magun,
Yeshainawa,
Yeshainawa,
Shayam,
Shayam,
Shalawam,
Shalawam,
Shayam,
Shayam,
Shalawam,
Shalawam,
Tawabah,
Tawabah,
Wabarakakan,
Barakakan,
Kahan,
Kahan,
Wakasad,
Wakasad,
Wabarakakayam,
Barakakayam,
Ayanawa,
Alinawa,
Wa'ayel,
Wa'ayel,
Call, Yasha'Allah,
Yasharallah,
Ainka.
Ainka,
Be favorable,
be favorable,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
to your people,
to your people,
Yasha'Allah,
Yasharallah,
and to our prayers.
to our prayers,
Restore
restore
the
the
service
service
of your holy house,
of your holy house,
and restore
and restore
the sons
the sons
of
of
Tezakwak,
Zakwa,
Zadok,
Zadok,
son of Aaron.
Aaron,
Blessed are you,
blessed are you,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
that restores
that restores
the service
the service
of your house
of your house
to your priests.
to your priests.
We thank you, Yahweh,
We thank you, Yahweh,
our power,
our power,
forever,
forever,
shield of our
seal
salvation.
of our salvation,
Grant peace,
grant peace,
goodness,
goodness,
and blessing,
and blessing,
grace and kindness,
grace and kindness,
and compassion
and compassion
upon us
upon us
and upon all.
and upon all.
Yasha'Allah,
Yasharallah,
your people.
your people.
Bashem,
Bashem,
Yahushua,
Yahushua,
Hamashiach,
Hamashiach,
Aman.
Aman.
Okay, Psalms 121, a song of degrees. Everybody ready?
Come.
Okay. Asha'ah,
Ashar,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Ayel,
Ayel,
Aharyam,
Aharyam,
Ma'ayan,
Ma'ayan,
Isaiah,
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 Ma'aim,
Ma'aim,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Asha'ah,
Ashar,
Shemayim,
Shemayim,
Wa,
Wa,
Aratazah,
Aratazah,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yatan,
Yatan,
Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Ragalka,
Ragalka,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Hana,
Haina,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yanawan,
Yanawan,
Wa,
Wa,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yanashan,
Yanashan,
Shawamar,
Shalamar,
Yasha'Allah,
Yasharallah,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazalka,
Tazalka,
Ayel,
Ayel,
Yan,
Yan,
Yum,
Yum,
Yan,
Yan,
Ka,
Ka,
Yawamum,
Yawamum,
Hashamash,
Hashamash,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yawarakaka,
Yarakaka,
Wa Yarakaka,
Warakaka,
Ba,
Ba,
La Yallah,
La'ilah,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Lakal,
Makal,
Rai,
Rai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Af,
Af,
Napashka,
Pashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Yatazalka,
Yatazaka,
Rabarakakan,
Yarakaka,
Ma'aitan,
Ma'aitan,
Wa'ayel,
Wa'ayel,
Iwalam,
Awalam,
Bashem,
Bashem,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Hamashiach,
Hamashiach,
Aman.
Aman.
Okay, Psalms 121, a song of degrees. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence comes my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. He that keepeth Yasha'Allah, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah, behold, he that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper, Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, for this time forth and even forevermore. Bashem,
Bashem,
Yahushua,
Yahushua,
Hamashiach,
Hamashiach,
Aman.
Aman.
Okay, read Psalms 92.
Hurry up, let's go.
Psalm chapter 92, verse 1. This is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord, and to sing praises unto thy name, O Most High, to shew forth thy loving kindness in the morning, and thy faithfulness every night. Upon an instrument of 10 strings, and upon the psaltery, upon the harp with the solemn sound. For thou, Lord, hast made me glad through thy work. I will triumph in thy works of thy hands. O Lord, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep. A brutish man knoweth not, neither doeth a fool understand this. When the wicked spring as the grass, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they shall be destroyed forever. But thou, Lord, art most high forevermore. For lo, thy enemies, O Lord, for lo, thy enemies shall perish, all the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. But my horn shalt thou exalt like the horn of a unicorn. I shall be anointed with fresh oil. My eye also shall be my desire on mine enemies. Shall see my desire of my enemies, and mine ears shall hear my desire of the wicked that rise up against me. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar of Lebanon. Those that be planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age, and shall be fat and flourishing, to shew that the Lord is upright. He is my rock. There is no unrighteousness in him.
Bashem,
Yahushua,
Hamashiach,
Hamashiach,
Aman,
Aman,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bashem,
Yahushua,
the water, Kaya,
Kaya,
Amafka, the water, Kaya,
Hashabah,
the water, Kaya, Amafka, the water, Kaya, Hashabah, the water,
Damyad,
Aman.
Aman.
Okay, Yeshabian. Well, sisters, be seated. Okay.
Who's supposed to read it?
What the president?
Youngest two.
Okay. Probably need the light. Here, you in Exodus 27, starting from verse 20. Here, grab the Bible. Okay, well, you first read. Okay. You ready to see? Okay.
Yashia.
Yashia, Jose, kid of Israel.
Apparent.
Allah.
Yashia.
Okay, try it again. Your name.
Yashia,
Bun. Your father's name.
Jose,
Bun. Your tribe's name. Aparayim. Bun. Your nation. Yasha'Allah. Okay. Amadium. Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yashar Barakatan.
Yahweh Shem Yashar Barakatah.
You're gonna read you're gonna start from 20, 20, and 21, okay? And then that'll be for that chapter, and I'll probably give you a couple more in the next chapter. You ready? Okay, loud and clear.
This is Exodus chapter 27, verse 20.
Okay.
And thou shalt command the children of Israel that they bring thee pure oil, olive, but beaten for the light, to cause the lamp to burn always. In the tabernacle of the congregation without the veil which is before the testimony. Aaron.
Before the testimony, is that it?
Aaron.
V-A-I-L-E.
Okay.
Aaron and his sons shall order it from even to morning before the Lord. It shall be a statue forever until their great generations on the behalf of the children of Israel.
And as you can see, it was separate. Was you about to say something?
No, go ahead.
And as you can see, some of the tribe of Levi was separated from the children of Israel, even though they are the children of Israel. It's just they are the Lord's portion. They are to do the sacrificial. They are to take care of the tabernacle. That is their job.
They were the priests, so their job was to deal with the sacrifices made to the Most High. They was to deal with the sin offerings, the trespass offerings, the peace offerings,
Wave
offering, first fruit. Okay, they let's clarify. All the Levites wasn't the priests, but the Levites as a tribe were charged with dealing with the tabernacle and the whole priestly duty. So that involved dealing with what? The tithe offerings of what the people brought to the tabernacle or to the church. Okay. So they distribute the fruits, the vegetables, the livestock, whatever the people gave as an offering, they distributed among themselves and to the priest first, then they give it to the poor and the strangers that was within the gates.
They had the priest, chief priest, and the Levite.
Yeah. Well, reverse the order.
All right.
The chief priest, then the priest, then the Levite.
Levite, okay.
Because the chief priests were the sons of Aharon.
Okay.
Okay, because they're the ones that went into actually they were on the altar. Okay, but then you had the other priests that were in the congregation handling the showbread or this or the oil or doing the minor sacrifices such as the burnt offerings or the sin offerings. Okay.
Everybody had their own stations.
Right, and their duties, and then they would rotate those duties among the tribe. Okay, well, with the chief priests always remaining within the sons of Aharon. Okay, they just rotated among themselves. Okay, so closing out the chapter, you know what to say?
Nisha, Nashmai, all of y'all said, what are we doing here?
Let's stand up. Yeah. Come on. Let's give me some confidence, you know what I'm saying? We can do this, baby. We can do this.
All right. Go ahead. Call Asherah. Debar Yahweh. Naisha. Wanashemai.
All of y'all said,
All of y'all.
what are we doing here?
What are we doing here?
Okay. Okay, next reader. Who's next? You?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get that Bible.
Now he can read from that one right there. I need him to be able to read this.
Huh?
I need him to be able to read this right here.
Uh-huh. All right, go ahead.
Hashap Gabar, Ban Merle, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yasharala.
Amadim. Barak.
Yahweh Shim Yashai Brakatham.
Yahweh Shem Yashai Barakatah.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 28, and verse 1. And take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother, and his sons with him from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office, even Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, Aaron's sons. And thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron thy brother, for glory and for beauty.
So the Most High wanted these garments made to separate the high priest that would be coming before the altar to make these sacrifices to him. Okay, so just like we put, people get dressed up to go to church, the Most High wanted his priests to be dressed up to come before him. Okay, so these are the priestly garments that were designed for the priests. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 3. And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise-hearted, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom.
So wisdom, which is a spirit, the Most High allows wisdom to fill a person with understanding and knowledge. Okay, discernment. Okay, to do what? His will, his purpose. So just like we read in chapters before, we read about how the Most High filled the craftsman with the wisdom to be able to do cunning work in any type of metal, copper, brass, gold, silver, okay? Cunning work, expert work, okay? So wisdom is a spirit that the Most High allows to descend upon people that demonstrate obedience and commitment to his will and to his purpose, okay? So this is what we're striving towards. So the spirit, the wisdom of the Most High can enter in with our temples, but wisdom will not enter into a temple that's subject to sin. That's the difference. That's why we need the understanding of the law, so we can know what's right, what's wrong, what we're supposed to be doing, what we're not supposed to be doing. How we're supposed to worship the Heavenly Father according to wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Not your own understanding, but the understanding that comes through studying and discerning the scriptures. Right from wrong, left from right. Okay.
That they may make Aaron's garments to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. Verse 4. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate, and an ephod, and a robe, and a broidered coat, a mitre, and a
mitre.
Mitre?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. A mitre, and a girdle. And they shall make holy garments for Aaron thy brother and his sons, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And they shall take gold and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen.
The same colors that are on the Marshall Yasharala patch.
Right.
Go ahead.
Come. Verse 6. And they shall make the ephod of gold, of blue, and of purple, of scarlet, and fine twined linen, with cunning work. It shall have the two shoulder pieces thereof, joined at the two edges thereof, and so it shall be joined together. And the curious girdle of the ephod which is upon it shall be of the same.
I just want to show the ephod. See if y'all can see that clearly. That is on his chest. The blue arrows are pointing at. It's pointing at the stones, but the ephod is behind it. Right, Nathaniela?
Yeah. The ephod is what the stones are placed on.
Yeah. It's like stones within the in the pouch. You know what I mean? The gold.
Okay.
Like
Well, set in the gold.
Yeah, set in the gold.
Set in the gold. What you say?
Kind of like the infinity gauntlet. Got the stones inside. Well,
Yeah, I think so. You have to show me a picture.
I should.
Go ahead.
Hold on. So this is not the ephod right here.
No, that. Yeah, that whole piece, but you got a piece above it too. So that piece is part of the ephod,
Okay.
but you got this piece here.
The piece is what is like, because the stones are inside of that plate of gold, right?
Yeah.
But the ephod is up underneath, and it's a part of the ephod, right?
Yeah, it's a part of the ephod.
Okay.
It's part of the ephod.
Okay.
All right, where you at?
Verse 8.
All right, go ahead.
And the curious girdle of the ephod which is upon it shall be of the same, according to the work thereof, even gold, of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. And thou shalt take 2 onyx stones, and grave on them the names of the children of Israel, 6 of their names on one stone, and the other 6 names of the rest on the other stones.
This is a better picture of the ephod, the breastplate. Right there. If y'all see it. And it has the golden ropes connected to the shoulders. All right, go ahead.
According to their birth. Verse 11. With the work of an engraver in stone, like the engravings of a signet, shalt thou engrave the 2 stones with the names of the children of Israel. Thou shalt make them to be set in oches of gold.
The oches of gold is, you see his breastplate. The stones are set in oches of gold. All right. Those stones are set in oches of gold. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And thou shalt put the 2 stones upon the shoulders of the ephod, for stones of memorial unto the children of Israel.
Upon the shoulders, what? Say it again.
And thou shalt put the 2 stones upon the shoulders of the ephod.
Okay, on his shoulders, there are 2 stones on each side of him. All right. Read.
For stones of memorial unto the children of Israel. And Aaron shall bear their names before the Lord upon his 2 shoulders for a memorial. And thou shalt make oches of gold, and 2 chains of pure gold at the ends.
So, right there are the oches of gold. And 2 what?
And 2 chains.
Not 2 chains the wrapper, but 2 chains right here and right there. All right, let me see. Slock. Those 2 chains right there on shoulders, those 2 chains are coming down. They got rings on them, and that is in the ephod. All right, go ahead.
Verse 15. And thou shalt make the breastplate of judgment with cunning work. After the work of the ephod, thou shalt make it of gold, of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, and of fine twined linen shalt thou make it.
Okay.
Verse 16. 4 square it shall be being double. A span shall be the length thereof, and a span shall be the breadth thereof. And thou shalt set in it settings of stones, even 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be a sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle.
Keep going.
You showing the picture?
Con.
All right.
This shall be the first row.
What verse you in?
Verse 18.
Okay.
And the second row shall be an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row shall be a ligur, and an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row a beryl, and an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold in their enclosures. And the stones shall be with the names of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engravings of a signet. Everyone with his name shall they be according to the 12 tribes. And thou shalt make upon the breastplate chains at the ends, of wreathen work of pure gold. And thou shalt make upon the breastplate 2 rings of gold, and shalt put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate.
Those are the rings that are connected right there. On each side, right there. Those are 2 rings. If you can't see it, you can look it up. All right, right there. Go ahead.
What did you look up? Oh, okay.
Verse 24. And thou shalt put the 2 wreathen chains of gold in the 2 rings, which are on the ends of the breastplate. And the other 2 ends of the 2 wreathen chains thou shalt fasten in the 2 outer.
There's 2 more chains at the bottom of it, but you can't see it. There's 2 more at the bottom. Go ahead.
And put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod before. And thou shalt make 2 rings of gold. And thou shalt put them upon the 2 ends of the breastplate, in the border thereof, which is in the side of the ephod inward. And the salah. And 2 other rings of gold thou shalt make, and shalt put them on the 2 sides of the ephod, underneath towards the forepart thereof, over against the other coupling thereof, above the curious girdle of the ephod. And they shall bind the breastplate by the rings thereof, unto the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue. that it may be above the curious girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate be not loose from the ephod. And Aaron shall bear the names of the children of Israel in the breastplate of judgment in his heart, when he goeth in unto the holy place, for a memorial before the Lord continually. And thou shalt put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and the Thummim, and the Thummim.
Thummim, the Urim and Thummim, which are basically the two stones that were upon the breastplate. You should look that up. So
They're like the crystal balls. Like
yeah, it's the two crystal balls that would light up when they asked the Most High a question. Okay, and then when the Most High, when we were doing right, it would light up and basically cast a light upon the whole people. Okay, so it emulated light from these two crystal balls, and they would ask the Most High questions and receive answers. So when you see the movies, when they talk about looking to the crystal ball, this is where they're getting that from. Getting it directly from the Bible. Okay. All right. Go ahead. What verse you in? 30.
Verse 30 still, yeah.
swagger jackers.
And Aaron shall bear the judgment.
What verse you at?
30.
Verse 30. And Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel upon his heart before the Lord continually. And thou shalt make the robe of the ephod all of blue. And there shall be an hole in the top of it, in the midst thereof. It shall have a binding of woven work round about the whole of it, as it were the whole of an habergeon, that it be not rent. And beneath upon the hem of it thou shalt make pomegranates of blue and of purple and of scarlet round about the hem thereof. And
So,
bells.
when you look at a pomegranate, the bottom of a pomegranate is a symbol, has a 6-pointed shield symbol in its budding at its base. Okay, so the pomegranate is one of the Most High's favorite fruits, and you see it being used in the making of the garment for the priest. Okay, they dangled pomegranates at the bottom of the hem. You got that?
Yeah, but you really can't see it.
Can't see it? Okay. What verse you in?
It
Verse
says it though.
33.
It says
All right, go ahead.
I mean, you can look this up. You know what I mean? At Jeremiah prophet diagram, it got some Edomite pretending to be us, but it says golden bell and pomegranate of blue, purple and scarlet. Verses 33 to 34. When the priest walk, the bell sound in the holy place. If it does not sound, we know we ain't gonna worry about that. All right, it may not be true. You know what these Edomites be doing, but the scripture says pomegranate, these bells at the end of his garment, right here. All right, so that is to be true.
Well, they would put you got a question? What's the question?
Do they do anything to the? Do they just get a pomegranate and put it on there, or do they take out the seeds in the pomegranate?
Oh, this wasn't a real pomegranate.
Oh, okay.
These were like gold fringes pomegranate, you know, at the end of his garments. They were gold. Well, it'll say that in the scripture, so I'm gonna take that away. But these were fringes, but they were pomegranates.
No, it says gold.
Yeah. It says gold?
Bells of gold.
Oh, bells of gold, yeah, but it was like fringes though.
Well, golden bell and a pomegranate. A golden bell and a pomegranate. So you had the golden bell, then you had a pomegranate next to it. All right. And the bell was to let him know that he kept hearing the bell, he was still alive when he went into the Holy of Holies. Because only he could go in there. Nobody else could go in there. So, all right. What verse you in?
Verse 34.
Okay.
And a golden bell and a pomegranate. A golden bell and a pomegranate upon the hem of the robe round about. And it shall be upon Aaron to minister. and his sound shall be heard when he goeth in unto the holy place before the Lord, and when he cometh out, that he die not. And thou shalt make a plate of pure gold, and grave upon it, like the engravings of a signet, holiness to the Lord. And thou shalt put it on a blue lace, that it may be upon the mitre, upon the forefront of the mitre it shall be. And it shall be upon Aaron's forehead, that Aaron may bear the iniquity of the holy things, which the children of Israel shall hallow in all their holy gifts. And it shall be always upon his forehead, that they may be accepted before the Lord. And thou shalt embroider the coat of fine linen, and thou shalt make the mitre of fine linen, and thou shalt make the girdle of needlework.
So for those that don't understand what the mitre was, that was a turban. Okay.
Right around the head, turban.
Right. Right up, left down. As we find our stuff, we'll show what a mitre looks like and everything. All right, what verse you in?
Verse 40. And for Aaron's sons thou shalt make coats, and thou shalt make for them girdles, and bonnets shalt thou make for them, for glory and for beauty. And thou shalt put them upon Aaron thy brother, and his sons with him, and shalt anoint them, and consecrate them, and sanctify them, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office.
So look up consecrate. Look it up.
What verse was that?
Verse 41.
Okay. Consecrate is in the Hebrew, the Strong's H, 4390. Translate male, malah. Consecrate is malah. Is to fill, be full. To consecrate, fill the hand. To be filled, be orned, be satisfied. To mask himself against, to fulfill, to accomplish, complete, to confirm.
So basically, the Ruach, the spirit of wisdom, had to fill them up with the knowledge of what they was about to do. Okay, so that was the consecrate. All right. They first had to be anointed. Sanctify is to cleanse them. So that was the bath and the bathing.
Yeah.
But the consecrate is when the Holy Spirit has to be filled within them to be able to do the job and the task that they need to do. And that's to perform their priestly duties before the Most High. Okay, where you at? 43?
42.
All right.
Verse 42. And thou shalt make them linen breeches to cover their nakedness. From the loins even unto the they shall reach. And they shall be upon Aaron and upon his sons, when they come in unto the tabernacle of the congregation, or when they come near unto the altar to minister in the holy place, that they bear not iniquity and die. It shall be a statute forever unto him and his seed after him. End of the chapter.
Okay. Close out.
So he can't have no iniquity on him.
No,
He
better
done
not.
nothing wrong.
Well, he better cleanse it before he come before that altar. Okay. Not to say that he doesn't sin, but I'm saying before he comes to the altar, he better make sure he's cleansed of his sin. Because he's cleansing the sins of the nation. That goes into when we would have the scapegoat. And let the scapegoat outside the camp, which carried the sins of Israel outside of the camp, so the camp wouldn't be destroyed. Okay. Okay, let's close out. Go ahead.
Kal Shara,
Kal Shara,
Debar Yahweh,
Debar Yahweh,
Nine Shah, Wena Shemai. All that Yahweh said, what we doing here?
Next reader.
Khan. Zanakarya, Ban Marakad, Ban Yahweh, Ban Yashral.
Madim. Rock.
Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Brakatam.
Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Brakatah.
Okay, you're in Exodus, the 29th chapter.
Come. Exodus chapter 29, verse 1. And this is the thing that thou shalt do unto them, to hallow them, and minister unto me in the priest's office. Take one young bullock and 2 rams without blemish, and unleavened bread and cakes unleavened tempered with oil, and wafers unleavened, anointed with oil of wheaten flour shalt thou make them. And thou shalt put them into one basket, and bring them into the basket with the bullock and the 2 rams. And Aaron and his sons thou shalt bring unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and shalt wash them with water. And thou shalt take the garments and put upon Aaron the coat and the robe of the ephod, and the ephod the breastplate, and gird him with the curious girdle of the ephod. And thou shalt put the mitre upon his head, and put the holy crown upon the mitre. And that then shalt thou take the anointing oil and pour it upon his head and anoint him. And thou shalt bring his sons and put coats upon them. And thou shalt gird them with girdles, Aaron and his sons, and put the bonnets on them. And the priest's office shall be theirs for a perpetual statute. And thou shalt consecrate Aaron and his sons. And thou shalt cause a bullock to be brought before the tabernacle of the congregation.
Consecrate, to dedicate them.
Mm-hmm.
You want to dedicate them.
Come.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt cause a bullock to be brought before the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the bullock, and thou shalt kill the bullock before the Lord.
And what does this sound like? Thou shalt put thy hands on the bullock. Who do that? Who does that? The church.
Oh, lay hands.
They lay hands. The laying of the hands on the dude. They do that.
Mm-hmm.
They do that in the church. So I guess we should kill the person they put their hands on, right? We should just burn them, right? Let's see. Go ahead.
What verse you in?
Verse 11. Thou shalt kill the bullock before the Lord by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And thou shalt take of the blood of the bullock and put it upon the horns of the altar with thy finger, and pour all the blood beside the. And thou shalt take all the fat that covereth the inwards, and the cow and the caul that is above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and burn them upon the altar.
So this call, talking about the fat that's above the organs, all organs have this call, okay? And that's the fat that we're not supposed to eat.
Okay, yeah, I remember us talking about that before.
Okay, that's the fat that we don't eat. That's the fat that's given to the Most High, burnt before the Most High. Okay, but the other fat that be part of the muscle and the meat, like the fat of a steak, the fat of a lamb, we can't eat that fat.
We can?
We can. Okay, but this is talking about the fat that you find above the heart, above the liver, above the kidneys. Okay, it's that fat which is called the caul. We can't eat that. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Come. Verse 14. But the flesh of the bullock and his skin and his dung shalt thou burn with fire without the camp. It is a sin offering. Thou shalt also take 1 ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the ram, and thou shalt slay the ram, and thou shalt take his blood and sprinkle it round about upon the altar.
So all that laying the hands, boy, after the hands got laid, something got slayed.
That's what I was thinking right now. I was like, man, A lot of people should have been dead. You better not lay your hands on me. I ain't gonna, hey, watch out. Watch out. Watch out.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 17, and thou shalt cut the ram in pieces, and wash the inwards of them, and its legs, and put them unto his pieces, and unto his head. And thou shalt burn the whole ram upon the altar. It is a burnt offering unto the Lord. It is a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
So this sweet savor is this fire of this inward parts of these animals being burnt to the Most High. So he smells that. Okay, that goes up to the heavens.
He smells.
He's a man.
Go ahead, I'm just gonna find it.
All right, go ahead.
Come, verse 18. Thou shalt burn the whole ram upon the altar. It is a burnt offering unto the Lord. It is a sweet savor, an offering made by fire of the Lord. And thou shalt take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the ram. And thou shalt kill the ram, and take of his blood, and put it on the tip of the right ear of Aaron, and upon the tip of the right ear of his sons, and upon the thumb of the right hand, and upon the great toe of the right foot, and sprinkle the blood upon the altar around about.
So
why was they putting blood on the ears and toes?
Because that's part of the consecration. Because the blood is the spirit of the animal. The spirit of the animal is in the blood. The blood was given unto the Most High. So they are consecrating themselves with that same spirit, which is from the Most High.
All right, I got a precept. This is Genesis 8, verse 20. And Noah built an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast, and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor. That means the Lord has a nose. He smells this. All right. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living as I have done. So the Lord has a nose. All right. And a man's heart is his mind.
And the passage that he just read is how the Most High said that he wasn't going to smite mankind with water again. And the sign of that covenant that he made with the earth was what?
The rainbow.
The rainbow, which the LBG community has adopted as their flag, but it's not their flag. It's the rainbow. Okay, that's the covenant the Most High made with the earth, that he would not destroy the earth with water. So the second destruction, which is coming, shall be by what?
Fire.
Thermonuclear fire. Okay. Go ahead. Where you at?
Verse 20.
Okay. Well, I thought you
No, it's like verse
21.
21. Thou shalt take of the blood that is upon the altar, and of the anointing oil, and sprinkle it upon Aaron, and upon his garments, and upon his sons, and upon the garments of his sons with him. And he shall be hallowed in his garments, and his sons' garments with him. And thou shalt take of the ram fat, and the rump, and the fat that covers the inwards, and the calf, above the liver, and the two kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and the right shoulder, for it is a ram of consecration, and 1 loaf of bread, and 1 cake of oiled bread, and 1 water out of the basket of the unleavened bread that is before the Lord. And thou shalt put all in it in the hands of Aaron, in the hands of his sons. It shall wave them for a wave offering before the Lord.
A what?
A wave offering before the Lord.
It's a wave offering. That's not done. That has not ceased yet. You know, you can do that.
What do you do during the wave offering?
He just said it.
Oh, okay, come.
He just said it.
Read it again.
Yeah, read
Come.
it.
Verse.
Well,
23.
23.
23.
Matter of fact, it's 24.
And thou shalt put all in the hands of Aaron and in the hands of his sons, and shall wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. All come.
Read it in context, start at 22.
And thou shalt take of the ram fat and the rump, and the fat that covereth the inwards, and the calf above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and the right shoulder, for it is a ram of consecration, and 1 loaf of bread, and the cake of oiled bread, and 1 water out of the basket of unleavened bread, that is before the Lord. And thou shalt put all in the hands of Aaron, and in the hands of his sons, and shalt wave them for a wave offering before the Lord.
So what's happening?
He did the wave offering.
He took the ram and the fat of the rump and the fat that covered the inwards and the caul above the liver and the 2 kidneys and the fat that is upon them and the right shoulder, for it is a ram of consecration, of dedication, right? And 1 loaf of bread and 1 cake of old bread and of 1 wafer out of the basket of the unleavened bread that is before the Lord. And thou shalt put all in the hands of Aaron and on the hands of his son, and shalt wave them for a wave offering. So what are they, on a plate?
No, they're in their hands.
Gushed in their hands.
Well, it's probably using the bread as a plate, and these portions of fat in the right shoulder and the kidneys are divided among Aaron and his sons. So all of them have bread. All of them have, in verse 23, they all have a loaf of bread. They all have a cake of all bread. They all have a wafer of the unleavened bread. And they have all the different parts that you read in verse 22. The fat of the ram, the rump, the fat that's above the liver, above the 2 kidneys, the fat that's upon them, and the right shoulder. So they cut that up among Aaron and his sons. And then they wave that before the Most High.
And these wafer cakes weren't really small.
Nah, it couldn't be for what they had to put.
I saw some pictures of them.
Okay.
And I just can't find them again, but
Okay.
they were like pieces.
Right. If you go our Middle Eastern market, they have those type of breads in their bakery.
Yeah. They're kind of big pieces of bread, and they hold them.
That his priest in his stead shall put them on 7 days, which he cometh in the tabernacle of the congregation to minister in the holy place.
So when it was Aaron's turn or his son's turn, they would come to the place where they put on these garments and be on their priestly duties for those 7 days. Okay, and it would just rotate, because being a priest was an everyday job. Okay, prayers had to go up morning, noon, and evening. The sacrifices had to go up morning and evening, and then in between, depending on if people had sin offerings to make or if they had peace offerings to make to the Most High. So it was an ongoing process. So the shekel that every man, woman, and child had to present for themselves to the central bank, which was the Levitical priesthood.
And they're gonna do the shekels of how much the poor gave and how much the rich gave. They all gave the same. The rich didn't give more, and the poor didn't give less.
Right.
That'll be the next chapter, I think.
Yeah, kind of. All right, where you at?
Verse 31.
All right, go ahead.
What'd you say?
Verse 31.
Yeah.
I was asking you. Verse 31. And that the son that is priest in his stead shall put them on 7 days when he cometh into the tabernacle.
Didn't you say 31?
Well, let him just read it in context.
Yeah, that was 30.
Just go ahead.
And thou shalt take the ram of the consecration and seethe his flesh in the holy place. And Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram and the bread that is in the basket by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And they shall eat those things wherewith the anointment was made, and consecrate and to sanctify them. But a stranger shall not eat thereof, because they are holy.
Mm-hmm.
And if aught of the flesh of the consecrations or of the bread remain unto the morning, then thou shalt burn the remainder with fire. It shall not be eaten because it is holy.
And that's what we do on the Passover. Is like the ram or the goat, whatever's left over for the next day, you can't eat it. You gotta burn it.
Okay.
Go ahead, read. Go ahead. We'll let you know why. It'll come up. We'll let you know why.
Verse 35. And thus shalt thou do unto Aaron and to his sons, according to all the things which I have commanded thee. 7 days shalt thou consecrate them. And thou shalt offer every day a bullock for a sin offering, for anointment. And thou shalt
atonement.
And thou shalt cleanse the altar when thou hast made an anointment. Atonement.
Try it, start it over.
Come. And thou shalt offer every day a bullock for a sin offering, for atonement. And thou shalt cleanse the altar when thou hast made an atonement for it, and thou shalt anoint it. So to sanctify it. 7 days thou shalt make an atonement for the altar, and sanctify it, and shall be an altar most holy. Whatsoever touches the altar shall be holy. Now,
so the altar which the sacrifice was placed on to be burnt for the Most High had to be sanctified, had to be cleansed for atonement. So they had to cleanse the altar. They made an offer every day for sin with a bullock. Okay. So they did this for 7 days when they were on their priesthood. Con? All right, go ahead. Verse 38.
Now this is that which thou shalt offer upon the altar, 2 lambs of the first year, day by day, continually. The 1 lamb thou shalt offer in the morning, and the other lamb thou shalt offer at evening.
So we had the lamb, we had the sin offering going up. Then we had the lamb going up, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. Go ahead.
And with the 1 lamb, a 1/10 deal of flour, mingled with the 4th part of an hin of beaten oil, and the 4th part of a hin of wine for a drink offering. And the other lamb thou shalt offer at even, and shalt do thereto according to the meat offering of the morning, and according to the drink offering thereof, for a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
So an atonement is a reparation for a wrongdoing or an to someone else that was unrighteous. You're making an atonement for something you've done wrong. Okay? Go ahead. It's a recompense payment, paying the Most High back because of what you've done for him not to kill you. All right, go ahead.
Okay. This shall be a continual burnt offering throughout your generations, at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, before the Lord, where I will meet you to speak there unto thee. And there I will meet with the children of Israel, and the tabernacle shall be sanctified by my glory. And I will sanctify the tabernacle of the congregation, and the altar. I will sanctify also both Aaron and his sons, to minister to me in the priest's office. And I will dwell amongst the children of Israel, and I will be their God. And they shall know that I am the Lord their God, that brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, that I may dwell amongst them. I am the Lord their God. That's the end of the chapter.
I am Yahweh thy Elohim. Okay. All right. Stand. Go.
Yeah, you gotta put pep in your step there, baby, okay?
All right, go ahead.
Kal Sharak, Debar Yahweh, Anai Shah, V'nai Shema. All Yahweh said, will we do in here?
Okay, so that concludes Exodus chapter 29, Exodus 30, verses 1 through 10. Okay. Call. Go ahead. Register.
Marakat, Ban Darnell, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yashavala,
Amadium. Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yashab Rakatham.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exodus, the 30th chapter, verses 1 through 10.
This is Exodus chapter 30, verse 1. We want to read to verse 10. And thou shalt make an altar to and thou shalt make an altar to burn incense upon. Of shittim wood shalt thou make it. A cubit shall be the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof. 4 squares shall it be, and 2 cubits shall be the length thereof. The horns thereof shall be of the same. Now, hey, one of y'all need to pay attention so y'all can show this, okay? See?
Is that what you want to show?
That's the one they're making right now.
Oh, in Israel?
Yeah. I'll start over. This is Exodus chapter 30, verse 1. And thou shalt make an altar to burn incense upon. Of shittim wood shalt thou make it. A cubit shall be the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof. 4 squares shall it be, and 2 cubits shall be the length thereof. The horns thereof shall be of the same. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold. The top thereof and the sides thereof round about, and the horns thereof. And thou shalt make unto it a crown of gold round about. The Most High is I wouldn't say he's a fancy person, but he's royalty. He likes everything to be laid with gold, brass, and silver. That's what's in us. Everybody, every last Negro, Latino, Native Indian loves jewelry, loves gold. We love fabulous things. So does the Most High. He loves it. That's why you know he's not a so-called white, because they have no flavor. Remember, we took them out of the Caucasus Mountains and showed them how to wash themselves. They don't know nothing about this until we show them. Verse 4, and 2 golden rings shalt thou make it to and 2 golden rings shalt thou make to it under the crown of it, by the 2 corners thereof. Upon the 2 sides of it shalt thou make it, and they shall be for places for the staves to bear it withal. There's 2 rings on the side of the it's like a box now, 4 square. The 2 rings on the side of it, and the stave is going to be covered in gold, and they're going to take those sticks and push them into the rings, that where they can bear it, they can pick it up and carry it. Verse 5, and thou shalt make the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, and thou shalt put it before the veil that is by the ark of the testimony, before the mercy seat that is over the testimony, where I will meet with thee. And the mercy seat is where the Most High sits, in a pure gold seat. Why? Gold is a conductor of electricity. All these silver rings, all these brass rings, all these copper rings that are about the tabernacle, outside of the tabernacle, the hooks that are in the ground, from the rings to the curtains and everything, is a conductor of electricity. That way, when the Most High is in that seat, he conducts the electricity around them where you don't die. So the that is beside the mercy seat. All right. Verse 7, and Aaron shall burn thereon sweet incense every morning. And Salaki, just to more, you should check out Elder. What's up?
Does he absorb the electricity?
Well, the gold and everything that he wears is a conductor of electricity.
No, who you asking about?
Yeah.
Just the Most High?
No, because you guys saying that it's like, because you guys are saying like the gold and brass are like taking the electricity, so I'm asking if it like it absorbs. Like, what does it do with the electricity?
Okay. What do you think is the best conductor of electricity? Well,
Silver.
what do you think?
Brass.
What do you think?
Gold.
Gold. I ain't even ask you. I went to a site, the health benefits of wearing silver jewelry. There's health benefits from wearing all these. That's why the Most High.
Copper too.
Yeah, copper too. So like copper is a part of brass, right?
I thought it was its own metal.
Well, it's in a family of
Yeah.
in a family of brass. Like it. So there's health benefits in wearing this. I went to the health benefits of wearing silver jewelry. Since ancient time, human beings have sought healing properties of gemstones and minerals, from the just for fun aspects of mood rings to amulets designed to ward off certain dangers. It's not hard to find jewelry purporting mystical powers, blah, 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 whatever. At any swap meet jewelry store, let me see, hold on. I'm gonna go to where it is. Okay. What are the benefits of silver jewelry? As a metal, silver has a significant health benefit that have been used across cultures for centuries. Silver has a proven track record as a powerful antimicrobial agent fighting infections and aiding in cold and flu prevention, wound healing, and more. Silver is the best conductor of electricity. So whoever says silver is right. All right. But there are health benefits in wearing silver. Silver also helps with internal heart regulation and circulation. Many have reported improvements in energy levels and balance in mood after wearing silver. It is a natural properties. Natural properties may offset all outside electrical disturbance, improve circulations and overall body temperature balance, and help maintain cleanness and immunity. So there's a lot of health benefits in wearing copper and chains and stuff like that when you wear them. There's a lot of health benefits in that. So your question was, ask again.
Does it store electricity?
Does it store up? When you conduct something, that's what it's doing. It's controlling it so it doesn't go everywhere and go and hits that. It just keeps bounded up in there. It controls it. So back to me.
What verse? 9.
We'll start at verse 7. And Aaron shall burn thereon sweet incense every morning. When he dresseth the lamps, he shall burn incense upon it. When he dresseth the lamps, he shall burn incense upon it. And when Aaron lights the lamps at evening, he shall burn incense upon it, a perpetual incense before the Lord throughout your generations. The same incense. Now watch this. Verse 9. Ye shall offer no strange incense thereon, no burnt sacrifices, nor meat offerings, neither shall ye pour drink offerings thereon. And Aaron shall make an atonement upon the horns once in a year with the blood of the sin offering of atonements. Once in a year shall he make atonements upon it throughout your generation. It is most holy unto the Lord. But we gotta stop there. So if y'all want to hear the rest, you gotta tune in next week.
So that concludes this week's Torah portion.
Trust me, you're gonna want to tune in. It's like you're gonna want to tune in next week to hear the rest of it. Trust me.
Tetzaveh, which means roughly ye shall command, meaning the Most High shall command. All right. Half Torah portion will be in Ezekiel, the 43rd chapter, verses 10 to verse 27. Shapia.
What's that?
Ezekiel, the 43rd chapter, verses 10 to verse 27.
You said the 34th chapter?
Hold on, I want to also I want to
I
pull a
said
precept.
43.
I want to pull a precept real quick, especially about when it involves the altar. Hey, Shapio, give me Maccabees 2 and 4, Baba Kusha. Because you got all these things that are talking about the altar. And what you got to understand is that you can look online and look at all these pieces about the altar, the flesh for it. You can the ark box and the ark of the covenant. None of that is found. It's been hidden.
Second Maccabees or first Maccabees?
I believe Second Maccabees 2 and 4.
Okay.
Let me make sure. The last book of the Apocrypha.
You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 4. It was also contained in the same writing that the prophet, being warned of God, commanded the tabernacle and the ark to go with him.
Read. We'll find out who that prophet is. Read.
As he went forth into the mountain where Moses climbed up and saw the heritage of God.
So what was the mountain? What was the mountain that Moses climbed up?
Sinai.
Nope. Zanat, give me Deuteronomy 34 and verse 1. So we're gonna find out where these ark pieces at right now. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 34, verse 1. And Moses went up from the plains of Moab into the mountain of Nebo.
Oh, to the mountains of what?
Nebo.
So those ark pieces are in the mount of Nebo. Read.
To the top of Pisgah that is over against Jericho. And the Lord shewed him all the land of Gilead unto Dan.
So what did he show him? Go to verse 4.
Verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, This is the land which I swore unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob, saying, I will give it unto thy seed. I have caused thee to see it with thine eyes, but thou shalt not go over heaven.
So we know what happened to Moses. So go back to Mac. You got Maccabees still?
It was 4 and
Here.
Maccabees 2 and
2
4.
and 4.
Read.
Starting from the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay. 2 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 4. It was also contained in the same writing that the prophet, being warned of God, commanded the tabernacle and the ark to go with him, as he went forth into the mountain where Moses climbed up.
And what was the mountain that Moses climbed up? Mount Nebo.
Come.
Read.
And saw the heritage of God.
Read.
And when Jeremy came thither,
This is Jeremiah. Read.
he found an hollow cave wherein he laid the tabernacle and the ark and the altar of incense, and so stopped the door.
And he stopped and you couldn't find it. Who's up? Don't worry about it. Keep reading.
And some of those that followed him came to mark the way, but they could not find it.
So he came to mark the way, but they could not find it. They tried to mark the way to find out where the ark and everything was. So all this stuff that's on YouTube, that's on Google and everything, all these pieces, these Edomites and everybody's talking about, and talking about they found it or they got these pieces, they don't have them. They don't know where it is. Nobody know where it is. All right? Only the Most High. Read, because if you go up there, you're not going to be able to find it. Just like some of the prophets' bodies that were buried in Mount Ephraim and everything else. You know it's there, but you're not going to be able to find it. Read.
Verse 7. Which when Jeremy perceived, he blamed them, saying, As for that place, it shall be unknown.
It shall be what?
It shall be unknown.
When?
Until the time that God gather his people.
Until what?
Until the time that God gather his people.
That's when it's going to be known. The ark and all these pieces and the shovels, the flesh fork and everything will be known. Read.
Again together and receive them unto mercy.
He said, gather his people again together and to receive them unto mercy. Read.
Verse 8. Then shall the Lord show them these things, and the glory of the Lord shall appear, and the cloud also, as it was showed under Moses.
Kind of the same cloud. Read.
And as when Solomon desired that the place might be honorably sanctified.
Read.
It was also declared that he, being wise, offered to sacrifice of dedication and of the finishing of the temple.
Come right there. So don't nobody know where the tabernacle is. Can't find it, give it up. So let's go to
Ezekiel, the 43rd chapter, verses 10 to verse 27.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 43 and verse 10. Thou son of man, show the house to the house of Israel, that they may be ashamed of their iniquities, and let them measure the pattern. And if they be ashamed of all that they have done, show them the form of the house, and the fashion thereof, and the out thereof, and the comings.
This is talking about the tabernacle. Okay, the detail, the order in which the Most High had things put together. Okay, the Ark of the Covenant. Show them these things that they understand what they're going against. All right, the detail, the workmanship, the craftsmanship. Let them see this pattern that the Most High has made, because it's a pattern of a man. When you look at the tabernacle.
I did see a picture of it on Google and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was a picture of a man.
The pattern of it.
Pattern.
Right. Go ahead.
And the comings in thereof, and all the forms thereof, and all the ordinances thereof, and all the forms thereof, and all the laws thereof, and write in their sight, that they may keep the whole form thereof, and all the ordinances thereof, and do them. This is the law of the house up on the top of the mountain. The whole limit thereof round about shall be most holy. Behold, this is the law of the house. And these are the measures of the altar after the cubits. The cubit is a cubit and in hand breadth.
Start over at the top.
Verse 13. And these are the measures of the altar after the cubits. The cubit is a cubit, and in hand breadth, even the bottom shall be a cubit, and the breadth a cubit, and the border thereof by the edge thereof round about shall be a span, and this shall be the higher place of the altar. And from the bottom upon the ground, even to the lower settle, shall be 2 cubits, and the breadth 1 cubit. And from the lesser settle, even the greater settle, shall be 4 cubits, and the breadth 1 cubit. So the altar shall be 4 cubits, and from the altar and upward shall be 4 horns. And the altar shall be 12 cubits long, 12 broad, square in the 4 squares thereof. And the settle shall be 14 cubits long, and 14 broad in the 4 squares thereof. And the border about it shall be half a cubit, and the bottom thereof shall be a cubit about. And his stairs shall look toward the east. And he said unto me, Son of man, thus saith the Lord God, these are the ordinances of the altar in the day when they shall make it to offer burnt offerings thereon, and to sprinkle blood thereon. And there shall give to the priests, the Levites, that be of the seed of Zadok, approach unto me to minister unto me, saith the Lord God, a young bullock for a sin offering. And thou shalt
go ahead. This is the sons of Zadok being chosen to now become the high priest. Okay, because they are Levites, but they were the Levites that didn't go off on the Most High. All right, go ahead.
Verse 20. And thou shalt take of the blood thereof, and put it on the 4 horns of it, and on the 4 corners of the settle, and upon the border round about. Thus shalt thou cleanse and purge it. Thou shalt take the bullock also of the sin offering, and he shall put it in the appointed place of the house without the sanctuary. And on the 2nd day thou shalt offer a kid of the goats without blemish for a sin offering, and they shall cleanse the altar as they did cleanse it with the bullock. When thou hast made an end of cleansing it, thou shalt offer a young bullock without blemish, and a ram out of the flock without blemish. And thou shalt offer them before the Lord. And the priest shall cast salt upon them, and they shall offer them for a burnt offering unto the Lord. 7 days shalt thou prepare every day a goat for a sin offering. They shall also prepare a young bullock and a ram out of the flock without blemish. 7 days purge the altar and purify, and they shall consecrate themselves. And when these days are expired, it shall be that upon the 8th day, and so forth, the priest shall make your burnt offerings upon the altar, and your peace offerings, and I will accept you, saith the Lord God.
So this order of cleansing the altar was established back during the time when the priests were established, the sons of Aaron, and later it was passed on to the sons of the seed of Zadok. All right. These 7 days, this must be done before any offerings can be made up to the Most High. All right. Then the priests would start their duties dealing with the people. But the first 7 days they had to cleanse the altar and consecrate the priests, make them cleansed and purified before they can even begin the process of making offerings for sin offerings, peace offerings, trespass offerings onto the Most High. All right. And you might wonder, why are we reading all this now? Because all this, what we read, will be reinstituted when we get back to the kingdom. Everything that we read will be reinstituted. Only the high priests in the kingdom will be the sons of Zadok, sons of Aaron, who are Levites. Okay, so that is the half Torah portion. Now we can go to the Brit Kadash, which is the New Testament portion to bring about Yahushua. Matthew, the 5th chapter, verses 13 to verse 20. Zanat.
Yes.
Matthew, the 5th chapter, verse 13 to verse 20. So this is the last portion of this week's Torah portion.
This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 13.
Hold on. Take a deep breath and calm down.
You ready? Or
Yeah, go ahead.
go. Matthew chapter 5, verse 13. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savior, wherewith shall it be salted?
So if the salt loses its flavor, how can that which is salted have any flavor? So who's the referring to? Is referring to us. Oh,
I thought you was asking the question. I'm going to answer.
All right, well, go ahead and answer it.
Yeah, Charlotte.
Okay, go ahead. Call you verse 14.
Verse 13.
13.
Thenceforth, good for nothing, but to be cast out, be trodden under foot of men. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick. It giveth light unto all that are in the house.
So that's a parable saying that your light, which is your spirit, has to be illuminated so people can see that light. And that light that's supposed to be illuminated is the light of seeking righteousness. Okay? By your dress code, by your mannerism, by your speech. Okay? You're not of this world, but you're in this world. All right? Being willing to give an answer about what? The Most High and the truth of who our people are. They are the nation of Israel. They are the Hebrews, like the Bible speaks of. While we're going through all this turmoil and chaos that we're going through here in America, these are the curses that we're under. Go ahead. And the understanding how to come out from these curses. This is what your light is supposed to represent. What verse you in?
Verse 16.
Go ahead.
Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
So faith without works is dead. What are your good works? Giving a answer when asked a pertinent question about the scriptures. Doing good works as far as charitable works, helping those less fortunate than yourselves that deserve that type of help, and working to help build the nation. All right. Go ahead. What verse you in?
Verse 17. Think not that I come to the law or the prophets. I come not to destroy, but to fulfill.
So the fulfillment is what part of the law? The sacrifice. His sacrifice of his life is the atonement for our sins before the Most High. That is the only reason why we have an opportunity for a second chance of salvation, by his sacrifice, by his shedding of his blood for our sins. He was the sacrificial lamb for us as a nation. Okay? The examples that we're trying to do, the works that we're trying to do, is to show that we are worthy of his sacrifice. But even our works is short. We still need his mercy and grace. Okay, but that does not give us a license to sin or not to make the effort of trying to do that which is required of the Most High. So we can't make excuses why we can't do the Shabbat, or why we can't do the Holy Convocations, or we can't do the memorials. Speaking of which, starting tomorrow night, we'll start the memorial of Purim. Okay, yes.
Who's that?
The book of Esther. That goes into the story of Purim. Okay. I'm not gonna give you the long and short, but I'm just saying the book of Esther tells us about the memorial. It's not a holy convocation, so you can go buy and sell, you can go work, okay, but it is a memorial. You commemorate that day with a little feast to understand the sacrifices of what they did during the time of Esther and Mordecai. All right, what verse you in?
It was about to get Mordecai, huh?
It was about to get all of us.
Yeah, it was. But after that, we went on a spree. We went on a spree after that.
Oh, they had the king's decree was to get rid of all of us. So Mordecai Mordecai basically opposed upon Esther, who was favored among the king, to basically go before the king without being summoned, which was a death sentence. But the king received a vision. I'm giving you a short answer. The king receiving a dream while he was asleep allowed Esther to come with this message, and it was not to kill Israel, not to kill us all.
Well, he didn't even know who Esther was.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know who Esther was, or Mordecai. Mordecai told her to be quiet from the beginning and don't tell him who she was.
Mm-hmm.
So that worked in favor as well.
Well, he in other words, he couldn't determine who she was.
Nah, he didn't know.
He didn't know she was.
She didn't know. He didn't know that she was an Israelite.
No.
She was a Jew.
Right. He didn't know that. Okay, come.
Because she had so much favor in the Bible, and she brought up what I can't remember his name. The decree. Haram. The decree. It would have killed her too.
Right.
It sent him in a rage.
And it was an officer that was trying to do it, and he had set out
a Edomite.
Yeah. He set out what was that thing called again?
A decree?
No, outside. He put one out to hanging.
Yeah.
What was it called?
Gallows.
A gallows, yeah. He put a gallows outside to hang Mordecai.
But it ended up hanging him.
And the king ended up hanging him with it.
Because he didn't know that Mordecai had saved his life.
Right. Because he warned him of an assassination plot.
Yes. And he rewarded, I forgot his name again, but he rewarded him when it was really Mordecai.
Right. But it was really Mordecai. But then when he found out it was really Mordecai that saved his life.
That's what the dream was.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what the dream was. The assassination was Mordecai. That was the dream.
Yeah. Oh, that it was Mordecai that warned you of the not Haram.
And it was Esther's uncle, so then it sent him in a rage. Like, why would you kill off these people that just saved my life?
Come on. All righty. That was the short for Purim.
We'll get into it.
All right. Well, where you at?
Verse 18. Verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, you shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven.
So these are the words of who? Yahushua HaMashiach. So Yahushua is saying that unless your righteousness exceed the righteousness of the Pharisees and scribes. Now, who were the Pharisees and who were the scribes? They were the lawyers that knew the law. They were thoroughly studied in the Torah, so they knew the law. So your righteousness had to exceed their righteousness. So for anybody teaching men that you don't have to do the commandments that you don't have to do the commandments or the laws in the Bible, you shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. Well, let's put that in context. You might not make it to the kingdom of heaven to be called least in the kingdom of heaven. You know? Yeah.
If you don't make it to the kingdom of heaven, do you still go to the wilderness?
Well, you got to get to the wilderness first. Then from the wilderness.
Oh, I thought because
you'll be born into the kingdom.
But if you get to the wilderness and everybody will pass under the rod of judgment. Okay, everybody. Okay, I have to emphasize that because there are some that say that they're just gonna float the kingdom of heaven and be above us common folk. So I'm common, so I'm speaking to the other folk. All right. We will all pass under that rod of judgment. Okay, we will all go under that rod of judgment. So if you ain't got it together now, you better get it together when you get into the wilderness. Good things that are practiced now will carry over to the wilderness. So what am I saying? It might be kind of difficult to start trying to do the law if you never felt like doing the law now. Question.
When is the lake of fire going to be created?
Oh, the lake of fire is now. Lake of fire is Hades or hell. Okay, that's the lake of fire. Okay, so that's in the spiritual realm. So there's a lake of fire right now. Okay, but to be in context to your question, the other lake of fire will occur when the thermonuclear missiles are shot over here on America, because America will become that lake of fire. But that fire will burn out, but then what will America become? A burning memorial, a smoking memorial. So the smoke, like how a fire ends and you have the smoke going up into the heavens? Well, that's what America, the whole continent of America is going to be just like that. So when we fly over in the chariots, those that make it, you can tell your children, well, that place right there, that was a place of our captivity that was called Babylon. Okay, spiritually called Babylon, spiritually called Egypt, spiritually called Sodom and Gomorrah.
Read that right there.
Yeah, I'm done.
Read that and start at 17 again. I just want to touch on something else too.
Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I come not to destroy, but to fulfill. So
when he said, think not that I come to destroy the law, which are the first 5 books of the Bible, which is Genesis, Leviticus, Exodus, Deuteronomy, and Number. And he said, I'm not coming to destroy the law. The law is the first 5 books. And he said, I'm not coming to destroy the prophets, which is Isaiah, Job, and Daniel, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah. Christ said, I'm not coming to destroy what they wrote. I come to fulfill what they wrote about. All right? And what they wrote about him and what the things that he was ought to do. Read 18.
Verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled.
Now let me ask you a question. Is heaven and earth still here? It's still here. All right. Heaven and earth is still here, of course. So therefore, the law is still in effect. All right. Now, after the death of Christ, the disciples kept the law. Can we approve that? Let me get James 2:11 real quick. I just want to touch upon this while we're here.
James 2:11.
James 2:11. Get your book out. You got a book? Oh, you don't know. You got your phone? Yeah, get your phone. I'm gonna have y'all jump real quick.
James is like right before like
Hebrews or it's after Hebrews.
yeah, I got it. James 2:11.
Mm-hmm.
James chapter 2 verse 11. For he that said, do not commit adultery, said also, do not kill. Now if thou commit no adultery, yet if thou kill, thou will become a transgressor of the law.
See, we can see James is referring to the law, right? Notice he says, thou art become a transgressor of the law, right? Once again, how can you transgress the law, which means to break the law, if the law is done away with? All right?
And what is sin? The transgression of the law.
Go back to Matthew. No, you stay there. Go to Matthew 19. So how can you break the law if there's no, if how can you sin if there's no law? It's crazy, man.
Sin, I mean, the law is what tells you what sin is.
Huh.
So the law is what tells you what's right and what's wrong in the eyesight of the Heavenly Father. So without law, there's no order. Okay?
1 Corinthians 14:40. May everything be done
Decently and in order. So we have to have order.
Yeah,
Right now, what do we have? We have utter chaos
because there's no order.
and wickedness in high places. What, you have something else?
Come on, read. Go ahead.
Where you want to start from?
19.
19 and which verse?
Keep Matthew 5:19.
You got it?
Go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Read.
But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Like the elder just said, Christ is saying this. Christ is saying that we have to do and teach these commandments. We got to teach the commandments to people, and we got to be following it. We got to do these commandments, right?
We got to be the example.
Exactly. Go to verse 20.
Come, verse 20. For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Now, why did Christ say that? Your righteousness had to exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees. Remember, this is written in a third degree to understand that, all right? Because as I said earlier, there were many people who kept the law, but their heart was not in it, all right? And that the concern Christ had, just keeping the law isn't good enough. You need love with that. Now look at this. This is what Christ did. Christ took the law in general and made it personal to the individual, right? Give me read Matthew 5:21. Watch this.
Verse 21. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment.
Personal. Keep reading. 22.
But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Raka,
Empty and senseless and empty-headed men. It's like you're being unrighteous to your brother. You're talking about him like everybody talks about each other on the internet. All right, without a cause. You have no cause for talking about this man like that. You're in your judgment, right? Read.
Shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire.
See, that makes it personal. When it says thou, that thou shalt not kill, okay, That's a general law. But Christ said, whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. See, Christ took a general law and made it personal to that individual. It has to be personal to you. A law has to be personal to you. You can't just be keeping a law and it's not personal to you. Like thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. If you do not take it personal, you're not it. You're just going to say, I don't hate my brother. But in your mind, you really do hate him. You know what I mean? So you got to take these laws personal. And a lot of people don't take it personal. See, there were many people who kept the law, like the Sadducees and the Pharisees, but they didn't have any love.
Well, they kept the law, but it was for visual effect.
Exactly.
So that's why they did said their prayers loud so everybody could hear them saying their prayers.
Yeah.
They had extra long fringes and over elaborate garments, and they put on the show of doing the law, but they didn't have the love of doing the law.
Yeah, those extra long fringes and stuff.
They didn't have the genuine concern of the people. That's why they make things extra difficult for the people.
Like the law that says not to murder, so they didn't murder anybody, but they still had hatred in their minds. They still hated them. Somebody, loan your brother some money that's in need. They kept the law, loaning the money, but they didn't really want to give them anything.
No, they didn't want to give them nothing.
They want to give them nothing. That's not personal, man. He wants you to love to do it. He wants you to want to do it. Be the first to, hey, I got you, bro. I got you. You love to help your brother out. All right? Christ came and said, not only you cannot kill, but if you're angry with somebody without a just cause, you're in danger of the judgment. Even if you don't physically kill someone, but deep inside you wish they were dead, that's not good enough, because the Father judges the heart. So the Most High already know you actually really hate your sister and your brother because he judges the heart. And your heart is still corrupt. Christ brought out the fullness of the law by teaching the love and not just works. And that's one of the ways he fulfilled the law. On my notes. It's very clear that fulfilling the law does not mean ending the law. So when he said fulfill the law, it didn't mean he ended it. All right. If you hire somebody at a job, right, to do a job, and they didn't complete it fully to the standard that you wanted it done, they didn't fulfill the job. All right. In order to fulfill the job, they would have to do it. They would have to do the job at the level you hired them to do it at. All right. That's what Christ did. Christ fulfilled the law because he kept the law at the standard that the Father desires it to be kept at. That's how he fulfilled it. The Most High sent him to do a job, and he fulfilled it at the standard that the Most High was happy that it was fulfilled at. That's what he did. So everything that the prophets were talking about, everything that Moses was talking about, Christ fulfilled it. That's why he did the will of the Father, and he also kept the faith. So you need the Father and the Son actually to walk in righteousness. All right? Which is why we need Christ and for us to keep the law properly. Now, give me Romans 3:31 real quick. And I got one more precept and that's it.
All right.
That's it.
Romans chapter 3 and verse 31. Do we then make void the law through faith? God forbid.
No. Read.
Yeah, we establish the law.
So the question should be, how do we establish the law? Right? How do we establish a law? I already got it right here. The word established used here is hastemi. It's in the Greek 2476. This word means to abide, continue, hold up, as in holding up a standard. In other words, we fulfill the law just like Christ did by abiding in the law, continuing in the law, and holding up the standard of the law, which is that charity, which is that love. You gotta want to love your brother. It has to be equally like coming out of the womb, same mother. It has to be. That brother you love has to be just like that. Hey, y'all gotta stop talking. All right. So, give me Proverbs 28:4.
Proverbs the 20th chapter, 4th verse.
Come on.
Proverbs chapter 28, verse 4. They that forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep the law contend with them.
Read that again.
They that forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep the law contend with them.
And this is why many of our people are lost and they don't even know that they are forsaking the law. They don't even want to do, hey, the law is done away with, boom. And they that forsake the law praise the wicked. And that's why you see them, they following after the white man. They doing a lot of
Well, they're following after preachers also that say that you don't have to do the law. I mean, you got Cleflo ripping up the law, saying that you ain't got to do the law.
He don't. He said the devil's trying to get you to keep the law.
Wow.
He said the devil's trying to get you to keep the law.
Coming from the mouth of the devil himself, telling the people in the congregation that they don't have to keep the law. But understand this: birds of a feather flock together. So if you really don't want to keep the law, you don't need to be told that you need to keep the law. You need to be told that you don't have to keep the law. So whatever wickedness you think you're doing or getting away with, you have a clean, or your conscience isn't bothering you because you're not being condemned by your conscience. Because every week you go to church, it's saying that you ain't got to do the law. You praising the Lord, you singing songs, and he give you a roundabout sermon about something or the other, but it has nothing to do with being obedient to the Most High. The bottom line is, how obedient are you to the Most High? That's what's going to determine your chance of salvation. I mean, what else can you bring to the table? Honestly, what else can you bring to the table? Money ain't gonna get you into the kingdom of heaven. Your Bentley, your Rolls, your
Corvette.
Yeah, Corvette, but Range Rover, your Batman wagon, your BMWs, your Mercedes, none of that is gonna get you to the kingdom. It won't even get you to the wilderness, quiet as kept. So what's going to get you to the kingdom is the level of righteousness that you are demonstrating and exhibiting on a consistent basis. Okay? Anything short of that, it ain't looking good for you. So that's why good habits are what need to be started now and carried over to the wilderness. And there will be examples in the wilderness to remind you that this is not a good example, and it's not going to the kingdom of heaven. Because off with their head is how the Most High is going to be dealing in the kingdom in the wilderness. Okay, you have something else?
Come on, give me Romans 10:4 real quick. Does it not give me Romans 10:4? And the Shapil, my last precept is Proverbs 28:9. Get
You
that.
got your sword up there? My phone.
Now this is when he was saying that your righteousness must exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees. Right here. And this is what a lot of Christians get this messed up too right here. They go into this and they lose their mind. And they'll come out there, they'll be like, see.
See what?
And the law is gone. The law is gone.
Oh, okay.
Romans chapter 10, verse 4.
Read.
For Christ is the end of the law, for righteousness to everyone that believeth.
Say it again.
For Christ is the end of the law, for righteousness to everyone that believeth.
Notice that the scripture did not say Christ is the end of the law, period. You got to understand period, commas, quotation marks, question marks. It did not have a period at the end. He said Christ is the end of the law for righteousness. That's what the scribes was doing. The scribes was using the law as a measuring stick for righteousness. Christ came to fulfill the law at the standard that the Most High required him to fulfill it at. That's what he did. He was an example of how to keep the law with love and charity. Read that. But the Christians have a lot to learn. Read, Shop.
Where we at?
Proverbs 28:9.
Okay. This is Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 9.
I'll read.
He that turneth away his ear
Right.
from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination.
Even his prayer shall be an abomination. As soon as you turn away your ear and you don't want to hear it, you let your spirit, that bad spirit, overcome you, till you don't want to have love for one another, you may start to pray and it just ends right there. You're not keeping the law. Even if you turn away your ear from the law, your prayers are an abomination to the Most High. All right. I just wanted to share that the law is not done away with since we hit Matthew 5 and 17 to 21. All right.
Well, 13 to 20.
Sorry. Matthew 5, 13 to 20.
All right. So that concludes this week's Torah portion. Amani and Wafan Yerushalayim. Let's stand and face Yerushalayim and close out. Okay. Here we go. You ready? It is our duty to praise the Master of all, to ascribe greatness to the author of creation, who has not made us like the nations of the lands, nor places like the families of the earth, who has not made our portion like theirs, nor our destiny like all their multitudes. Vanity and infinite and pray to a God who cannot save. But we bow down. But we bow. All right, bear with me. All right, here we go. It is our duty to play Master of all, to ascribe greatness to the author of creation, who has not made us like the nations of the lands, nor places like the families of the earth, who has not made our portion like theirs, nor our destiny like all their multitudes. For they worship vanity and emptiness and pray to a deity who cannot save. But we bow and worship and thank the Supreme King of Kings, the Holy One. Blessed be He, who extends the heavens and establishes the earth, whose throne of glory is in the heavens above, and whose power present in the highest of heights. He is our Elohim, there is no us. Truly He is our King, there is none else. As is written in the Torah, ye shall know and take to heart this day that Yahweh is Elohim in the heavens above, and on the earth below, there is no other. Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, Aman, Shemai, Yasha Allah, Elohayinawa, Yahweh, Akad, Wahapka, Af Yahweh, Alahayaka, Babkal, Labubka, Wamakal, Napashka, Wamakal, Ma'aka. Hero Israel, Yahweh, Elohim is one, and thou shalt love Yahweh, thy Elohim, with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy might. And these words, which I command thee, this day, shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, when thou risest up, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thy eyes, and thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. Bashem, Yahushai, Hamashiach, Amen. Okay, Amadium, stand. Ten Commandments. You got the Ten Commandments? Need to get it. Okay, the Ten Commandments. We ready? Anya, Alahayaka, Asherah, Awatazah, Afyika, Maratazah, Matazariyam, Mabaya, Ta'ibadam, Yahweh, La'ah, Yahaya, Laka, Alahayim, Akarium, Alpanya, La'ah, Ta'isha, Laka, Pasal, Wala'ah, La'ah, Delaquaka, Shem Yahweh, Bashawa, Zakah, Hayawam, Hashabah, Lakodashwa, Kabah, Abaka, Wa'amaka, La'ah, Daratazah, La'ah, Dana'ah, La'ah, Daganah, La'ah, Da'ainah, Shakur, La'ah, Dakamad, Call, Asherah, Lara'ika, the first greatest commandment. Hero Yasha Allah. Repeat after me. Hero Yasha Allah. Yahweh. Our Elohim. Yahweh is one. And thou shalt love Yahweh. Thy Elohim. Heart, with all thy soul, with all thy might. The second greatest commandment. La'ah, the Quam, Wala'ah, the Tar, Af, Banya, Ainka, Wa, Ha'abda, Lara'ika, Kamawaka, Anya, Yahweh. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahweh, thy Elohim. Bashem, Yahushai, Hamashiach, Amen. Okay, read the Ten Commandments. Exodus 20, verses 2 to 18.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon their children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and shewing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
Come.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
That's right.
In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy ox, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Before the Lord blessed the Sabbath day, hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God gave thee. Thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings.
Okay.
You said in verse 18, right?
Yeah, is that 18?
No.
17.
Okay.
Bashem.
Bashem.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Aman.
Aman.
Okay. On Asha'ah, the memorial of the woman. Now, when Yahushua was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for 300 pence, 1 year's wages, and given to the poor. When Yahushua understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she has wrought a good work upon me. For ye are always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she has poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, whatsoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman has done be told for a memorial of her. Bashem.
Bashem.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Aman.
Aman.
Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Bashem.
Bashem.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Aman.
Aman.
Okay, sisters, be seated. Hamadim, Barak, Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Brakatham.
Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Brakatham.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Hallelujah.
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 Okay, sisters, stand. Let's face our sisters. Madiam, Barak, Yahweh Shema Atham.
Yahweh Shema Atham.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Hallelujah.
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 Okay, so that concludes this week's Torah portion. Hope you got something out of it. Things are happening. Things are going on around us. Be aware. Do your due diligence. Prepare thyself. Okay, things are not getting easier. They're going to get rougher and harder. So I say, enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. Kwam Yasha'Allah.
Queen Shayla.